The FTX contagion keeps spreading throughout the crypto industry, taking down big names left and right, loan defaults, bankruptcies, and even criminal conspiracy. Yeah, FTX is about to help take down one of the biggest names in crypto and the blood of the markets, Tether USDT. How and why? Find out in about 10 minutes, because it's time for Chico Crypto. Yup, the contagion keeps spreading. The investors who put money into FTX will likely never be getting those funds back. FTX acquired exchanges are looking for new homes. Voyager, Celsius, BlockFi, Hold'not, and Vault have filed for bankruptcy, and the list goes on and on. Although one entity missing from this infographic umbrella of FTX is Tether USDT. 6 months ago, I made this video. I uncovered the billion-dollar Bitcoin cartel who controls everything. If you'd like to watch it, the video is down in the description, but I'm going to summarize what I uncovered. I found that FTX's Alameda research was heavily involved with Tether. In November of last year, Protos put out an amazing research piece titled Tether Papers. This is exactly who acquired 70% of all USDT ever issued. And in the article it shows Alameda was Tether's #1 customer. And the article states, together, Alameda and Cumberland received at least 60.3 billion in USDT across the time period analyzed, equal to around 55% of all outbound volume ever. Besides being Tether's biggest customer, the connections between FTX, Alameda, and Tether get even more revealing. Stuart Hoegner, if we go to his LinkedIn, we can see that he is the general counsel for Bitfinex, aka the parent company of Tether. If we scroll down, we can see back in 2006, he was deputy GC and director of compliance for a company called Excapsa. Well, Stuart's Excapsa got involved in a major poker cheating scandal that rocked the industry in the early 2000s. From this poker listings article, we can see it says, Toquero Enterprises, the owner of Absolute Poker and Ultimate Bet, announced Wednesday it had come to a settlement agreement with Excapsa Software to reimburse players who were affected by the recent cheating scandal. Under the terms of the agreement, Excapsa will pay $15 million to Blast Off Ltd., the Toquero-controlled company that originally acquired Ultimate Bet. This payment will be used immediately to refund players who were affected by the cheating scandal that Toquero inherited when it purchased the business from Excapsa. So how does this connect to FTX? Well, if we check out a Dan Friedberg's LinkedIn, we can see he was general counsel for FTX, but currently is their chief regulatory officer. It has worked for them going on 2.5 years. Scrolling down, there is no Excapsa, which would tie him to Stuart. Well, he leaves that out for a good reason. From a Haley's Poker blog who covered the Ultimate Bet and Excapsa scandal, we can see they say, but even Hoegner pales to one Daniel S. Friedberg, one of the true secret bad people behind the Excapsa facade. Friedberg was there from the very start, and his role in online poker matters follows a strange route indeed. Friedberg did quite well for himself, garnering several million shares of Excapsa stock in addition to his pay, with said shares distributed across several different ownership entities. Then the UIGA happened, the IPO collapsed, and the hasty sale to Absolute Poker was arranged, with terms of sale very unfavorable to Excapsa's rank and file shareholders. Amid all this, Friedberg switched sides, going to work for Absolute Poker and becoming Scott Tom's attorney as well. You read it right. Friedberg kept himself tied to the money stream wherever it went. What are the odds the two lawyers who were involved with Excapsa during its time cheating online poker players are now working with two of the largest crypto entities who have close ties, as Alameda, aka FTX, is Tether's biggest customer? Again, what are those odds? Well, now it's time to get into the new content, a major connection which may give regulators the evidence they need to go after Bitfinex and Tether. Back in March of this year, Alameda Research invested some money into a bank here in the United States. From this Crowdfund Insider article, we can see it says, FBH and its fully owned subsidiary Moonstone Bank today announced that it has raised $11.5 million in a private placement from an investment by Alameda Research Ventures. Moonstone Bank, which is previously Farmington State Bank, is located in Farmington, Washington, a small rural town of only 133 people. Going to the bank's address on Google Maps, we can get a look of what the establishment looks like. Checking out this side of the place, it looks like an extremely small bank, like the smallest I've ever seen. And then going to the only other side view we can get of the bank, we get the same idea, a small and shady looking place. And then if we scroll around, we get an idea of where it's located, in farmlands. Well, the shady look of the building isn't the only shady thing about Alameda's investment into the bank, because the investment itself raises some major eyebrows. From this American Banker article, the crypto contagion may not be that contained, we can see it says this about Alameda's investment. The investment arm of FTX bought just under a 10% stake in Moonstone, a la Farmington, for $11.5 million, which would value the bank at roughly $150 million. Ownership stakes below 10% do not require regulatory approval. Then, from this New York Times article titled Crypto Firm FTX's Ownership of U.S. Bank Raises Questions, we can see they say, at the time of the investment, Farmington was the nation's 26th smallest bank out of 4,800. Its net worth was $5.7 million, according to the FDIC. Why did Alameda invest double the bank's net worth for just a 10% stake? That doesn't make a lick of sense. And the big question, why didn't they want to have regulators knowing about the just under 10% ownership stake in the bank? Well, they had some big plans for Farmington this year and beyond. From the New York Times article on the ownership, we can see money started to flow in big time. The article says, before the acquisition, Farmington's deposits had been steady at about $10 million for a decade. But in the third quarter of this year, the bank's deposits jumped nearly 600% to $84 million. Nearly all that increase of $71 million came from just 4 new accounts, according to FDIC data. I wonder why money started to flow into the American bank, which was owned by Alameda, who has ties to Tether. Well, this connection sums it all up. Going to this PR release on the investment from Alameda into the bank and its parent company FBH, we can see they say, Jean Chalopin, chairman of FBH Corp., said Alameda Research investment into FBH Corp. And Moonstone Bank signifies a recognition by one of the world's most innovative financial leaders of the value of what we are aiming to achieve. This marks a new step into building the future of banking. The chairman of Farmington Bank's parent company, Jean Chalopin, is also the owner of another bank. Going to this article on the Deltec Bank website, we can see it's about Jean Chalopin. And scrolling down, we can see it says, today, Jean is Deltec's largest shareholder. Who banks with Deltec? Well, from this 2018 press release from Tether on their new banking relationship, we can see it says, Tether Limited is pleased to confirm that it has established a banking relationship with Deltec Bank and Trust Limited, a 72-year-old financial institution with headquarters in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. From the looks of this to me, FTX and Alameda were an arm of Tether, allowing them to have their banking relationships within the United States that they cannot get. And when regulators start diving deep into this, things are going to get scary. The contagion could spread into the blood of the crypto markets. Cheers. I'll see you next time.